close to you a box that was printed on one of the presses. This is actually a commemorative box. The Ruby Talks has some new terminology that didn't come from the copier business. If you don't have a box, if you want one, let me know, we've got extras. This is what we use for our sample kits. So if you have a customer who wants to see samples, random generic samples, you can order this from our office in Dallas, and you'll get this box minus the select dealer group or Turtle Bay. And it's gonna have sample kits inside of labels. So we use this as a double duty kind of deal. So they get to see a box that's printed on a 675, which we'll see in just a second, and the samples inside are printed by a 475. And so far, we've got really good response from this. And if you want to have the customer's name that you're going to, the prospect's name that you're going to, you give me an EPS file and we'll put the logo on it. If you want to have a bunch for your dealership, let me know. We'll put your logo on this and we'll get them out to you. Okay, I just need give me about 10 days heads up if we're going to do some custom stuff. But we do have a generic version of this sitting on the shelf in Dallas. Okay. Now this is our macaroon box. We also call this the mini pizza box. And then we have, this one's my favorite. This is the kimono box. So you can see this is pretty colorful stuff. Now, this is on a regular craft box that you can get off the shelf at Office Depot. We do have some cool stuff coming. It's got a gloss finish on it. So this will be a really powerful piece from a marketing standpoint. And you're gonna hear me talking a lot about marketing starting right now. Okay, any questions on the boxes real quick? All right, let's see if I can figure this out.
Yeah, I got a question. So like if a pizza guy, let's just say you have a pizza company, it's a pizza box, and they're buying just regular boxes, but they stick labels on them that they're probably buying, like you said, from a printer.
Yep.
And they're gluing those labels on them. What would it cost? Would you come out with a net? I mean, I know it's based on volume, but would it be about the same money to print it versus print the label and stick the label on?
You know, Chad, I've had this conversation with a couple of
Pizza guy?
not pizza guys, fulfillment guys. Guys that are doing fulfillment for different brands or Amazon even. And we get into this not just with pizza boxes, but pizza boxes, wine boxes, you know, that they stick a logo or stick a label on. I talked to a guy in Denver, just real quick. He's putting a 75-cent label on a box. It covers one side, it's a label, 75 cents. That box sitting in front of you, that whole box, all in, it's about 70 cents.
With the box?
With the box. Okay, because it's a pre-die cut box. I've got a version of it sitting here. It's a pre-die cut box. We run it through the machine and we print both sides of it. There's about 15 cents of ink on this.
Okay.
That's it. So the ink that's on this is less than the 75-cent label that was going on this box. So that's a good example, but it's gonna vary. Now this kimono box, that's about 80 cents worth of ink on it. So it's really gonna vary. And the type of box that if they're doing custom size boxes, it's gonna cost. To answer your question, it's gonna be, if you run into something like that, call me and I'll have the conversation with the customer. Fair enough? I'll start that conversation with you.
Do you source the box too?
Right now, we just buy this box in bulk. We use any box. Like if your customer says, hey, I have a custom size, if they have a template, we can set up a template to print on that box, or I can have a graphic designer set up a template to do it. So it really doesn't matter. It could be a cut box, it could be an uncut box, it could be 21 feet long, it could be 4 feet long. It really is, it could be a stand-up display of paint manual. We can print on as long as we can get a graphic designer to create the template. All right, so let's run through this real quick. I gave you a version of this last year, so I'm not gonna spend a whole lot of time. The fact is, this business is growing. The label packaging business is taking off, okay? You can see by revenues, you can see by the category here, see if I get this to work. And we're gonna focus on these categories right here: label, corrugated, and flexible packaging. Everybody know what flexible packaging is? It's the bags that have the zip tie, or not the zip, but the Ziploc thing. They're usually colored, not clear. That's a flexible packaging bag. That's actually from one of your guys. That's in here on the island. So these are the categories that we're gonna look at. This is growing like crazy. You guys hear me all right? I feel like I'm yelling at you. Okay. All right. Volume. The volume is picking up. This industry is growing. The key is around understanding why it's growing. Okay. The reason it's growing is because of some of the technologies and the business marketing in general is evolving. And it's evolving because of the trends and products, restrictions, marketing, okay? We're bringing the ability to market items and market packages that weren't available years ago. Let's see if we get this thing to work. So demand and technology. So we're bringing the capabilities from a demand standpoint to these small companies that want to compete with the big companies. This is a popcorn company that we called on Tuesday. Is it Tuesday? They want to compete not necessarily across the country, but they definitely want to compete regionally, and they are getting ready to put this bag of popcorn on some airlines, and they want to package it. They want to package it in-house, and they want to look like a big company. Well, by all means, let's give them that capability, right? Right now, they're buying those labels. They're doing some interesting things to get those labels, but they're waiting. There's some things that they're having to jump through, some hoops that they're having to jump through to get that done. They're waiting on their labels. They don't have the flexibility. They have one label for all their flavors and things like that. We're going to bring the capability for them to do all those marketing things in-house. Okay? So this is one thing right here. Small companies wanting to compete on a larger scale. The other thing is the technology. The presses that we're going to talk about, the presses that I've been talking about for the last 3 years, they didn't exist 3 years ago or over 3 years ago. It wasn't here. It wasn't available. So we're bringing a new technology to a customer that's already a customer of yours, okay? Now, they're not replacing a label press. They're not running to the end of a label press lease and replacing it. They're looking at new capabilities and saying, hey, can you sell me a net new product? Anybody want to guess why they would buy it from you as opposed to buying it on the internet? Relationship. Service, support, okay? Now, this is all ringing a bell, right? All right. So let's get through this. Small batch, you're gonna hear me, if you hear me at all, small batch prototyping, proofing, versioning. These are all things that if I come in and educate your reps, these are things we're gonna get into. If I come in and make a call with your reps, these are things that we're gonna talk about. These all have a place. We could spend 2 hours talking about that slide right there. So then we're gonna go back a little bit. I had a conversation with a rep this morning about comparing this to the digital change from copiers that took place in copy world from analog to digital. About 1990, analog copiers were the standard. When they made the switch over to digital, there were some dealers that jumped in really quick. Color was coming around about that time. Production print was coming around about that time. So there were dealers that adopted early, and then there were dealers that sat back, and we were just the fax machine coming at that point. There were dealers that sat back and waited until the demand or the competition drove them to make this change, okay? So over time, digital, color, production, those all became pretty standard stuff. You guys are probably all selling that stuff if you're not selling color copiers. I don't have any words for that. So the names have changed, but this is the same kind of evolution. This is a technology that's coming to you. You have access to it. We're going to teach you how to support it, teach you how to sell it, teach you how to service it, and you can get out there and we get into a couple of really key customers, prospects. Again, some of them you're already doing business with.